Hi, my name is Seraphel, and I like to give my dolls new faces inspired by things that I like. But today I'm trying something new where I have a messy compilation video of faces that I've done recently. And when I say messy, I mean messy. This video's not really edited that well, and a lot of the clips are either badly recorded or they end in weird spots. It's messy. I won't be going step by step through my process, so I'm sorry if that was something you were curious about, but if you're really interested in my process, I do have other videos on my channel where I go through my steps, and they apply to about every face anyway, so that's there if you're interested. So this video is going to be basically 20 something minutes of me just rambling without a script. It's probably going to be boring. It's probably going it's not going to be fun. I'm giving you your warning now. So if you don't want to hear that, that's okay. You can mute the video, put it on 2x speed, play your own music, or you can not watch at all. That's okay too. I won't be mad. I get it. But yeah, I'll try. I will mostly just be rambling about unrelated stuff or just stuff. I'll try to occasionally chime in about the things happening on the screen if I remember, but overall, this video is going to have no structure to it. This is your final warning. So this first clip is a catty repaint that was supposed to be inspired by a blind box like I did with my Laguna and Skull Panda video, but in the end this catty didn't even look like the figure, and she looked more like just my version of catty noir, which is okay too, but honestly, it all worked out because I lost a lot of the footage to this video because my phone died and then my storage effed me over. And I don't know, in general, I think I'm feeling like a little bit of burnout. Not necessarily burnout, I just can't think of a better word right now, but I have the most fun when I'm just doing faces, and honestly that is, while it is fun to record my process and know that people are interested in it, there's some steps to it that like I am dreading. Like recording, fine. Doing a face, fine. Editing, I guess that's okay too, but I just I think I'm just lazy. I don't like to pose my dolls very well. I don't like doing the whole photo shoot at the end, but it's also like, is it okay for me to just throw a few photos of the doll on my desk and it's like, here, damn. I don't know. But I do have, I'm incredibly self-aware of like my faults, and I do have this problem where I'm constantly comparing myself to other people, and I don't know, when I post my videos and I just see all the other lovely people in this community and the things that they post, I feel like, do I even have like anything to offer? It's a bit harsh. I'm my own biggest critic, but sometimes I feel like, what, like, you only do the faces. There's people who do like their own original characters, and most of my stuff is just me giving a character a new face because that's what's most fun to me, and I think that's why I feel like a little insecure about seeing the art that like other people put out. I fear this video is going to get personal, and I hate getting personal on the internet because, I mean, it's scary being vulnerable, right? Because you don't know who's going to like hold it against you. And there's also the fact that YouTube specifically to me feels like such a public split. I know it's the internet and everything's public, but YouTube specifically is like very public, and like I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't intend to know how the algorithm works, because this is just like a for fun thing. I don't care about numbers or any of that. But I do get scared that people in my personal life will find my YouTube channel. And it's not that I am shy about the fact that I like dolls and I like customizing dolls. It's just, you know, the person that you are online is different from the person that you are in person sometimes. It's like the whole friend group thing. You're different around different people. And I don't know. I just feel vulnerable. But anyways, I feel like that maybe contributed to my feeling of burnout, because while I liked doing doll faces, the thought of like, oh, I have to make it look really nice and I have to take all these photos and I have to make a really like, or I have to end up posting a YouTube video that I would be happy to have my name attached to. So there's pressure from that. There's the pressure of, you know, this is how people perceive me. And of course, there's the chance that like, this is how people in real life will perceive what I do on the internet. And it's just scary. It just feels like there's eyes on me all the time. And I had to just take a break from my Twitter account specifically, because I'm most active on doll Twitter. Also, as a very, very quickly, I was so sad about the pastels on Catty. I love my gradients. You guys know that, or people who watch my videos know that, but unfortunately they just disappear because she just has really dark skin. So all the light colors gone. So I just had to try my best to give her like a gradient lip with acrylic. I don't know if I did a good job, but I really tried my best. Back to what I was talking about. Yes, I don't know. When I first started my doll Twitter account, I tried my best to be very active, because the whole point was to make friends. But I don't consider myself a big account at all. I don't consider myself someone who pulls numbers. It's so cringe. Like, I'm cringing saying that. But, you know, it's just knowing that there's eyes on you just changes things. And suddenly, like, I don't want to be so open anymore, because I don't know, I'm just scared of being seen, approached, perceived. It's such I don't know, it's such a cringe thing to say, because it's like, oh my god, you post things on the internet, get over yourself, what are you so scared about? But I don't know, it's the feeling of control. I think the feeling of control over who can see your things and who can interact with your things. But at some point, when you start to grow an audience and you become, I don't want to call myself a public figure, because again, I am no one in the grand scheme of things, but you know, 100 people, do you even know 100 people in real life? Like, a school lecture hall or a college lecture hall is like 300 people. Do you know every one of those people? Like, that's a lot of people when you think about it. So basically, that's the reason why I haven't been very active posting videos. Oh, here's my final catty. She kind of just turned into a Doyen catty. Let me pause this because I rambled too much. I ended up boil washing her hair straight. I gave her a little hair clip and I put her in a mycene dress and tied a little bow around her tail. She looks very summer K-pop. It's cute. It's fun. She's releasing her summer single, and we're all tuning in. The next clip is going to be a Bratz boyz repaint because of the aforementioned burnout. Boys are always like a good refresher for me because I love making pretty boys, and you know, who doesn't like looking at a beautiful boy, at a handsome boy? Oh my. So I got this base doll from a friend on Twitter. They were selling some stock dolls that they had, or some leftover doll. I don't know. But I saw the boys. I wanted the boys. They sold me the boys, and now I'm working on one of the two that I bought from them. Anyway. He's going to look absolutely crazy, and I fear that is always the case with your sketch. Your sketch will always look absolutely crazy until you start laying down the color and like bumping up the contrast. But it is definitely a trust the process sort of thing. As I was talking about burnout, yeah, I wanted to get back in my groove because I have an important thing going on in my life for probably the next few months, and I don't think I'll have time to do as many dolls as I would like. So I really wanted to get back into the swing of things and get as many dolls as I could done that I could handle before I became too busy to do it. And to get me back in the swing of things, I wanted to do a boy doll because I feel good doing boy dolls. I feel like that is foreshadowing, though, when we get to that later clip. When we get to a later clip. But yeah, I really wanted, I was delusional. I was like, I'm going to pump out like a doll every other day, every 2 days. Like, I'm going to try, I have like 2 or 3 weeks until my business, my whatever I have starts. So I was like 2 to 3 dolls a week. Easy. It was not easy. It was not easy. This one tripped me up a little bit because while I did, I do like his face. I do like his face, but Eitan with like his really short haircut, I don't know, I just found it really hard to style him. And I fear that this face as it is will look really baby-faced, but I will show you how I managed to fix that when we get to that clip. So bratz eyes have always been like really hard for me because they have to be really even or else it looks off. And most of the time the bratz have like the pupil, and then they have like a little ring of color, and then they have the rest of the iris, which is like the majority color. Like the little ring is like an accent color. I've never been able to do that because I can never get my lines thin enough. So when I saw that the new Scorchin Bratz, the racing line, had these really gorgeous screenings and they had like these cool stripes in the eyes, I tried to do it. I did it very wrong here. Like I think the screening has like 5 stripes in the eye, and I don't know what I was thinking when I only did 2. Obviously it looked crazy, and also the colors were just way too out there, that I ended up just painting it just brown, which honestly I'm happy with. I quite like the very simple big brown eyes look. Oh my god, here I'm trying to add the stripes in again, girl. Girl, get over it. But yeah, here's where I just decide, oh wait, no, I keep on going, my bad. Um sorry. I I don't know. It's like I talked about earlier, even though I have some feelings about having to record myself because it's added work. I I get mesmerized watching the process. Like, this isn't me tooting my own horn, okay? I watch so many people's videos of them creating their dolls and doing their face ups, and it's just so satisfying. I just get mesmerized. Oh, notice here, I skipped. Here, let me pause because I was going way too fast. So I gave this eye a lighter eye. My friend suggested that maybe he can get the heterophobic eyes. And then when I was doing his eyelid crease, I wanted to use my watercolor pencil because I felt that my acrylic paints would be a little too harsh. And while I was picking up the pigment from the pencils, because like the brush is wet and the pencil's wet, like these splatters just showed up on his face. And I was like, I'm not fixing this. Wait a minute, it looks like freckles. So, sure, what the hell. But yeah, just covering up the obvious spots in like his eyes and stuff. And giving him his little catch lights so he can come to life. And here he is with Orion. Look at these two boys. Look at these two handsome boys. Like I mentioned earlier, Eitan here, he just looks like he's handsome, but like I feel like his face was just too pretty for the clothes that I had for him. And I asked my friends what they thought, or I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I posted asking or just expressing my grievances, and one of my lovely friends suggested giving him a little soul patch, and I am very restricted to only knowing how to do pretty boys, and I'm not saying that very masculine presenting people cannot be pretty, but I've never drawn facial hair, so I tried my best. I think I got it down, and I showed the doll to my sister, and she suggested that maybe he needs bushier eyebrows because he still looks way too soft. So I tried my best. I ended up giving him a lot more eyebrow here. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's because I'm so biased to a nice, sharp, clean brow that like this just looks weird to me. And also maybe I just didn't do it very well. But overall, if I stare at him for too long, obviously I'm going to start nitpicking. I think he's quite handsome. I do love him. I do adore him. So there's Eitan. And because I was on a boy doll kick, I was like, you know what? I want to do Heath. This is a very long clip. How long did I put? Oh, is it paused? Oh dear. Is it broken? Oh my god. Technical difficulties. Okay, we're back. So, I was on a boy doll kick, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do Heath too. Here, I started off with my cotton round as usual, but then I started taking off the paint from like his sideburns or like his side shave, and I was like, damn, I have to switch to Q-tips now. But Q-tips are taking forever. So I just took my tape and I masked off his paint and also his hair so that I could more easily wipe off his face without ruining the paint. And also I covered his foot. Technically you don't have to do this. You can just spray directly on his face, but I didn't want his hairpiece to look matte, and that's also why I taped over the paint too, or kept the tape on over the paint, because I don't know, I just didn't want the factory paint to look matte. I would have done it on Deuce too if his snakes didn't like curl over his face. But again, I usually feel really confident when it comes to my boy dolls. But I don't know, this Heath, he had hands. I restarted him like twice. This is like my third time trying him. And I don't know if it's because I used all of my pretty boy beam on my eitan, who I don't know if I'm going to keep him eitan or if I'm going to give him a different name so he can be like his own separate character like Orion is. But that aside, I think here it looked fine. I took my phone and I tried to visualize, and look, I had my old Heath near me because I really like my old Heath, but it's like my Deuce. I feel like I was referencing my old Heath too much and maybe comparing it too much, that like it just didn't look right. But then again, here I think he looked really good sketch wise. It's my lining that like I think I went too heavy-handed on the lining. We'll talk about it when we get there. Everything was going so well, and I don't know what happened, but we'll get to it. I have a bone to pick about the Monster High boys. So I mentioned before that I do like boy dolls, and I do like when boy dolls have had a lot of effort, clear and love very clearly implemented into their designs and their dolls. And here's where I messed up. I brought the black onto his lower lash line when I shouldn't have. It should have just stayed on the top. Oh my god. And even if just made the weirdest noise with my throat. Anyways, the Monster High boys, again, I think they're decent base dolls with potential. I can fix their faces, but the things I can't fix are their weird proportions. To me, I feel like they have weird proportions. They're very lanky, and their legs are so long. Like their calves, their shins, is that what it is? It's just so long that like no clothes ever fit right on them, and I will get to that at the end as well. But even if I fix their face, because I don't know how to sew, that is my fault. Whatever clothes that I have in my collection that I try to put on them to style them, it just never matches my vision. And maybe it's not just a Monster High boy thing. Maybe it's a Serafel can't style thing. But that's my bone to pick. Why did they make them so weirdly shaped? That doesn't change the fact that I wish we would have gotten Gil though. G3 Gil is so cute. I would have loved to do my version of G3 Gil. But anyways, Now we're on to the shading. I usually have a lot of fun on this part, and I wanted to give him sort of like a sunburned look, which is a bit ironic, right? Because he's like, I don't know what he is. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Seraphell's a fake fan. But I just thought the like sunburn, sun-kissed look would look really good on him, so I tried my best to get that down. But then he started looking like a little too realistic, and it started to scare me. Here, I think not yet. Not yet. He didn't get scary yet. But let me tell you now, orange and red pastel stain so bad. I look like I had a little Cheeto mark on what part of the hand is that? Like your palm? I look like I had like a Cheeto mark on my palm. So here's your warning. Don't blend orange or red pastel on your hand. I put black under his eyes because I do that with all boy dolls. Or I try not to make it like too dark at first. And honestly, maybe here it still looked good, but later it won't look good. To me, at least. And I'm sorry if I ever come off as like super nitpicky of the things that I make. Like I mentioned before, I'm my biggest critic, and I am almost always trying to find something wrong that I did, and I'm trying my best to not do that anymore. Or instead of looking at it as a, oh my gosh, I'm awful, I'm trying to spin it into an, okay, this is something we can work on type of thing, or this is something to improve on. It takes a lot to rewire your brain to thinking like that, but I'll get there. With enough practice, I'll get there. So, I don't know. Also, I think the orange I used on him was just way too bright. And it's just, I get mad at myself watching me put that like black on his lower lash line. It shouldn't have been there. Because like now the bottom of his eyes just look way too dark, and then when I go in with like the brown or black pastel, it just looks like he has like really smudgy eyeliner down there, which isn't a bad thing. It's a look for some people, but it wasn't the vibe that I was going for him. I think of oh my god, I think of Heath as like a very sweet boy, but you know, at some point I had to be like, I'm not starting over on him again. I just have to keep on chugging through. But maybe in the future I'll redo him. Maybe it'll be another compilation video of me redoing faces I'm not happy with. And also, if you've made it this far and you like or are okay with this type of video, feel free to let me know, and I'll do something like that again. I'll try not to make this a normal thing because I know it's kind of a mess to watch. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But I try to put him in. That is a piece of lint. I promise that is a piece of lint. Yeah, maybe it's just the clothes that I had that didn't suit him, but like, I don't know. Or like, it's because his head is so big and his body's so lanky. He just looks like a dweeb. Not that if you have a big head and a lanky body, you're a dweeb. I'm just talking about my Heath in this very awkward outfit. Yeah. I don't think he suited this, but I didn't really have anything else for him that wasn't like his abomination of flame hoodie and flame shorts. And then I don't know, I put them next to each other and I was like, oh my gosh, I like my first Heath so much more. Like, he's so sweet. And then there's this guy. I do like his eyebrows a lot more. His shading's not bad, but I feel like the sun-kissed shading that I was going for just made him look way too realistic, and it was scary. And yeah, his very heavy lower eyelid is just scary. So in the future, if I redo him, that's just something to think about. But yeah, if that's like maybe something you're interested in, a video of me just redoing old face-ups, that can be arranged, but I don't know when I'll be able to get to it because, again, I'll be busy. And then I ended up putting him in his awful stock outfit anyways, and honestly, he did look better. So maybe it is a Sarah Falcant style thing, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure this video that I edited to talk over does not have enough room for an outro, so I will have this go black so you don't have to stare at him anymore. And yeah, basically, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, I'm sorry, this is not one of my usual videos, and hopefully my next video, whatever that's going to be, will be a lot less messy and actually worth watching and worth your time. Thank you for sticking through. I hope to see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye.